So we're going to start with coordinate systems and ordered pairs. So we all know what a coordinate system is. If not, I'll just explain what it is. So this should be 7th edition, not 11. So the XY plane that we know of is what we call the coordinate system. And we have 4 different quadrants. So that is what we call the first quadrant. That is the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. And you can see we go in an anti-clockwise direction. So the values over here are the x values, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And over there, it's -1, -2, -3, and so on. Over here, it is -1, -2, -3, and so on. We have 1, 2, 3, and so on. So if I pick one value of x and a value of y, let's say that value of x and that value of y, and that point is 1, 1. And 1, 1 is what we call an ordered pair. So the value of x is 1. And the value of y is also 1. Over here in the second quadrant, I could pick, say for instance, the number x is equal to -2 and y equals +2. That is also an ordered pair. And let me just write this over here. So 1, 1 is in the first quadrant. Now we have -2, 2 is an ordered pair also. The value of x is -2 and the value of y is 2. And here we have -1, -2. So it is also an ordered pair with x is equal to -1 and y equals -2. So the point -1, -2 is in the third quadrant. And lastly, I could pick for instance, x to be 3 and y to be -1. And 3, -1 is in the fourth quadrant. So you can notice something by observing the values of x and y that we have. So that's x and that's y, and that is a coordinate pair. So I'm just going to write a summary of the quadrants. So if the value of x is positive and the value of y is also positive, then the ordered pair would lie in the first quadrant. If the value of x is negative, the value of y is positive, the point or the coordinate pair would lie in the second quadrant. If the value of x is negative and the value of y is also negative, then the function would lie in the third quadrant. But if both of them are if the value of x is positive and the value of y is negative, then it would lie in the fourth quadrant. So geometrically, we could also call the coordinate pairs points on a plane, and specifically the plane that you see is what we call the Cartesian plane. So each of those 1, 1, minus 2, 2, minus 1, minus 2, 3, negative 1, they are all coordinate pairs, and they are simply points on a plane. The point over here, right in the middle, is 0, 0. So the center of the plane is 0, 0, and it is what we call the origin. Naturally, the horizontal line on the plane is the x-axis, and that is the y-axis, but typically we simply call it x and y.